Hi, hello and welcome to unboxing of Kingdom Death Monster version 1.5. This is the second edition of the game, and for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Kingdom Death franchise, I recommend you do get familiar with it because this game is very worthy of further attention. I will provide links in the description of this video to the manufacturer's site, and like I said, I recommend that you give it a look. This huge box is the core set of the game. There are expansions to it, but I don't have them yet. This is everything you need to start playing. We will delve into the box itself in a moment, but for now, just take a look at just how huge this box is. Those are my hands, obviously. I don't have freakishly large or freakishly small hands, so you can see how large, how massive this box actually is. I mean, this is the thickness of it all. Like I said, this contains everything you need to start playing. So let's see what's inside. These are obviously the miniatures. They come packed in cardboard, like this. Every single miniature to start and finish your campaign are here. And there are many bits and pieces you actually don't require to play, but they are there just for the flavor. We will get to those in a moment. The game consists of two main phases, so we need two boards to actually play it. This is one of them. This is the hunt board. This is the hunt board when you track your quarry. And this ends, well, this actually ends in starvation, but when you track your prey, you begin the showdown phase, when you actually fight your quarry. And this comes, and showdown happens, on the main board, which is positively huge. This is 1/3 of the board. And this is the showdown board. It's divided into spaces, obviously, but this is the board on which the main, maybe not the main, but definitely the most exciting phase of the game actually happens, when you have your 4 survivors, because this game is up to 4 players, and when you basically fight your monster. And the monsters here are, well, shall we say, unique.
Let's talk about the cards and the counters that come with the game, and there is an abundance of both. This game is huge in more ways than one. I will try to put a picture of just how many cards and how many counters there are. But for the time being, let's talk about the counters and the cards themselves. The print quality is very good. Everything's very clear, everything's very nicely illustrated in full color. It might not be visible here, but those are actually shades of gray. Each and every card has a unique reverse, so you know instantly what deck it comes from, and this is very helpful, which we shall see in a moment. This is a weapon, by the way. This is a starting weapon, and this is a starting piece of armor for your loins, for your waist, as it says on the card itself. Everything's very intuitive on those. You actually put them on your character. You have 9 squares, 3 by 3 grid, and you make combinations. Combos are possible. So this is gear, basically. Weapons, armor, and some other bits and pieces you will need to actually survive in this bizarre, horrifying world. Now, as for the other set of cards, this is a White Lion deck. The White Lion is the first monster you fight. You fight him. You fight the lion. You fight the White Lion in the introductory scenario, and this is your first quarry that you hunt, and you will probably be farming him, so to speak. This is a divider. Each and every... let's get this dirt out of here. Each and every deck comes with a divider in the basic set, which is a very, very nice touch. I actually do have a problem with quality here, and you will see in a moment what I mean. This is the White Lion deck. This is the basic action of the White Lion. This is always in play. And then you have the AI, which is basically what the monster does. This goes for each and every monster. This is the hit location deck. So for instance, you can hit the lion in the maw, or the femur, or my personal favorite, the fuzzy groin. And it says very specifically, you hit the monster right in the ding-dong. This is a running feature in this game. The humor here is very, very persistent. At each and every step, you will get those bits and pieces of really, really immature humor, more of which we will get to just in a moment. So, we have the AI, what the monster does. We have the hit location deck, where can we actually strike. These are the hunt events. When you hunt, all kinds of quarry monsters have their own unique events. These can vary from grazing grounds to hunting grounds and so on and so forth. And when you hunt the monster, when you down it, when you kill it basically, you get resources from it. These can be, for instance, the lion claw. What else do we have here? A patch of fur, some kind of bone, or these babies. Yes, they are actually testicles of the White Lion. This game can be very, very immature, but come on, it is kind of funny. Now, one complaint I have with the cards is that they are kind of hard to shuffle, and you do need to shuffle these a lot. Why they are hard to shuffle? They are, as I don't know how well is it visible on the camera, but these are very matte, very which is good, which is great. They do the print quality is amazing here, but I have a feeling that if they were more glossy, or at least satin, they would be, so to say, slicker, easier to shuffle, less prone to, you know, getting stuck and so on and so forth. This is the one complaint that I have with the cards, sadly. But maybe it's just me, and maybe it's my inability to shuffle cards. I was talking about counters, and here they are. These are just two of very, very many, and again, the print quality is very good. Some of them are double-sided, some of them are one-sided, but the cardstock, the paper itself, so to speak, is very nice. It's very dense and very tightly packed, so I don't see them actually coming apart. I will, of course, reinforce, and this is a trick, by the way, I've learned from other tabletop gamers, that you can take some very very thin super glue and try to brush it into the edge, into the rim of those counters and make them more durable. I will definitely be doing that. But still, I don't think there is actually a need for that. This is just me being pedantic. Terrain, because this game uses terrain pieces, also comes on cardboard. This is a patch of grass, which this is one-sided, and yes, this has an effect in-game. The game also uses dice. And dice come, Kingdom Death dice come in two sorts. You have your hit location dice, there are 4 of these, and you basically randomize where you are hit. This is the chest. Come on. This is the chest. Foot, obviously, your arm, your head, and your loins, your waist. Ordinary 6-sided dice with unique symbols. And also, you're pretty much run-of-the-mill 10 dice. You get one transparent red one, one bone one, and 4 or 5 of the black ones. But however, it would have been so easy for them to just put your average 10-sided dice in the set and be done with it. But this is Kingdom Death we're talking about, so nothing is average here. These are actually custom made for the game. Instead of a 10 symbol, they have this lantern. The motif of the lantern is very important in this game. In the rulebook, they even always say, instead of 10, they say lantern 10, which means natural 10. It's a small thing. It's a tiny tidbit. But the small things like this make stuff unique, okay, in my opinion, and this is one of those things. I appreciate it a lot. Let's talk about the rulebook of the game. It's covered in the same very matte, very nice to the touch material that the box itself is made of. It's hardcover. It's about yay thick. It has over 200 pages. Granted, there are some things that are unnecessary here. For instance, why do we need this? Why do we need a silly comic? Well, hey, to each their own, I guess. It is very well printed. The entire book is printed on semi-gloss material. It's of course full color. The one complaint I have actually about the quality is that our pages are the paper itself, while very nice, very, like I said, semi-gloss, very nice crisp printing, the paper itself is very thin. And this is a game rulebook, so it's bound to be, the pages are bound to be turned back and forth, and I just see them, ripping, bumping, and all kinds of nasty stuff happening to them. Really, the paper could be just a bit thicker. But other than that, no complaints. This is the rules section, by the way. Very nicely explained, literally by the numbers. You do this now, and do this now, and you do other thing some other time. see that thing. There are like prompts to guide you throughout the rulebook and through the game basically. And one thing that is awesome, because what happens when you open a game rulebook? You get some kind of introduction, well, obviously contents and so and so. And here you immediately get a story. You immediately are thrown into the world with no explanations given, because this is actually a running feature throughout the Kingdom Death franchise. Very, very little is revealed actually about the world of the game by the creators, by Poots himself. This world is insanely bizarre. I mean, the entire game happens on the literally called Plane of Faces. You even get this is the ground, by the way. Sorry for the glare. This is the ground of carved stone faces that the game takes place on. Just to give you a taste, just how insanely weird this game is, the world of this game is. Yeah, and you get a story just at the very beginning. You get a story of actually what happens through your first playthrough, and so on. Yeah, this is nice. This is a very, very nice touch. So all in all, the rulebook is very, very nice. Very much worth the money. And the format is also something you don't see every day, because normally you do this. And this, when it's actually the other way around, makes it very nice to actually hold it, to actually left it open and play, because you will need this on your, throughout your first and second and third and very many first games you play, because the rules are quite complicated. As far as the rules themselves go, for me this is much more form than function. But we'll see. Maybe it's actually smoother than it looks on paper. But overall, I am very, very happy with this book. So, let's see the miniatures. The minis arrive. Each and every sprue is pre-packaged in foil, basically. And you have an insane number of sprues. From what I am able to gather, I will make some pictures towards the end to show you how much of plastic do we actually get. But sprues like these, they are not that big, but there are at least about 10 of such baggies. So, let's see what's inside. These two sprues are for the starting survivors, the naked ones. For instance, this guy and this guy. Let's see them up front. There is some kind of well-endowed lady just next to him. She doesn't have any nipples, and that's quite disturbing. Moving on. You get the starting survivors, the white lion, obviously. I can see pieces of... There we go. Pieces of the butcher, also. And on the other sprue you get in the bag, you get also the survivors, the other survivors, and parts of the screaming antelope. On the other sprues you get other monsters, you get other encounters, and also armor sets for your survivors, because you are expected to actually build the miniatures as your survivors develop, as your settlement develops, and you get access to more and more sophisticated armor and weapons, they are all included. I will show you in a moment. But let's talk about here. Let's talk about this. What we have here. The quality of the sculpts and of the actual cutting of the miniatures is amazing for a board game, because this is, and this needs to be said very, very loudly, this is not a war game. Kingdom Death Monster is a board game first, foremost and last. And these are essentially, they are playing pieces. And for playing pieces, as far as playing pieces go, I have never seen such quality of sculpting and casting, actually. There is almost, you know, the seam lines are pretty much non-existent here. And this goes for all the sprues. And what is surprising is, yes, they were cast in China. Which is kind of a downer, but still. All those sprues have actually, well, aside from the title of the game and the Made in China sign, they are actually labeled. Here and here. So you basically know what is what. And it also goes for the other sprue. I have no idea why there is the word intimacy is here, but I think I will find out. So let's take a look at some of the other miniatures. This is, I believe, some kind of armor set. Let's just see what exactly is this. A lantern kit, whatever that is. I am not that into the game yet. But as I said, look, you have the, maybe I will take just one of these. You have some individual swords for pretty much everybody. There is even a 5 extra because you always play with 4 survivors. Some kind of whip, a shield perhaps, I don't know what that is. Some other stones like swords. Excuse me, made of stone or something, or maybe those are scabbards. I'm not sure. Halberds, whatever that is, really, and so on and so forth. Another one. These are spears and a bow, and also parts. Sorry. And also parts for the survivors themselves. These are legs, obviously, with some kind of armor on them. There is even a harp and some kind of punch dagger. I'm not sure. I think it's called the Qatar. This thing you punch people with. Very, very nasty. And because I won't show you all of those sprues, because as you can see, the quality is amazing and the number is amazing. But one thing I would like to show you, these, by the way, the 4, arrived in one baggie, so I think they are somehow connected. However, what is really great, and I have not seen this in board games, it is a trick used in scale modeling, but not as often as it should be. It's a small thing, but you will see in a moment why this is so important. Take a look at how they stack. Maybe I will just zoom you out a little. those tiny pegs on each sprue prevent them, the sprues I mean, and the components on them, prevent them from actually squashing together when they are moved. I'm doing... See? They don't move. This is actually great. I don't see this very often, and I should be seeing this type of sprue design a lot, because this for me is absolutely essential. Very, very, very good job, Kingdom Death. Absolutely, absolutely right thinking on your part. The bases, obviously. Surprisingly enough, the bases are pretty much the only plastic component arriving in a Ziploc bag. I am not sure why they didn't decide to go with Ziplocs because you are bound to use just a few components and not each and every one of those. But like I said, this is a base. Obviously, this is a base for the survivors, and it has these, come on, and it has these stone faces on it. I am not sure why would you have ground made of stone faces, but there you go. This isn't the most bizarre thing in Kingdom Death. And also, what is quite cheeky, this actually says I love Poots on the bottom, because this is the top. Oh no, it's not. This is the top. Bit of an egomaniac, aren't you, Adam Poots? Oh, okay. Let the man have his, his moment under the sun. And it goes for others as well. No, actually, I believe this is actually the bottom, and this is the top, because this is like a... Or maybe not, I'm an idiot. Ah, so you have also an insert to the base. Ah, I haven't seen that before. Very, very nicely done, because this is the base itself, and this is the base for playing, and they are, I believe, bound to go together like this. That's a very good idea, because whilst painting, you can have this. You can mount the miniature onto this base, and you won't have to worry about cleaning the base up after you're done painting. That is actually a great idea. Very, very nice. As you can see, the bases come in different sizes. This is 50mm, the others were 30, I believe. And obviously the biggest one, which is... No, it is 2 pieces, huh? Good! Good on ya! This is obviously the huge scripture, I love Poots. I'm not sure I love you, Mr. Poots, we haven't even met. This is 100mm, and this goes for our special guest star, the Phoenix. And isn't he a big birdie? These are, I mean, look at how huge it is. These are its legs, but it also has arms. It has like 6 limbs. This is the Phoenix tail. Look how huge it is. It is almost as long as my fingers. And this is just maybe one third of its entire length. This, at which point do we stop calling it a miniature, you know? And this is one of the wings. It is half the size of my palm. And this is actually a great comparison, because it is actually a palm. These are the fingers, and the thumb goes here. It's like this, and you have feathers in here. This is one of the biggest miniatures I have ever seen in my life. And yeah. I know Games Workshop is going big with its miniatures, and clearly this was some... I'm not saying it's connected, because those are two different franchises and two different, absolutely different target audiences. But yeah, I like seeing big miniatures. I like seeing... how should I put this? Because obviously the Phoenix was supposed to be huge, and it is huge in comparison. Because this is 28mm or 30mm scale. So yeah. And this is the big birdie. Like I said, I will try to actually take a picture of how many sprues you get. And with that, I will say goodbye to you guys. Thanks for watching. There are more Kingdom Death movies, films and material incoming, definitely, because this game, like I said at the beginning, this game deserves recognition. Because this is a huge effort. This is something brand new when it comes to board games, to gaming itself, to, you know, unplugged gaming. But don't let me ramble. Like I said, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time on the Plane of Faces. Bye!